Hey, my name's Omar. This is my official typing video. Yeah, let's get into it. What are your interests slash hobbies? One of my biggest interests is music. I'm in a kind of like punk emo band right now. I play guitar. Um, we've been going strong for a few months, but I've been in some other bands as well. Um, we're called Kitty Empire, and we're a little bit all over the place because we're bringing in a lot of different influences. But I don't know. I like to write a lot of kind of like slow, heavy riffs, but also a lot of sort of like I don't know, like dissonant sounding stuff. Um, yeah, I also really enjoy writing lyrics. I haven't really been super involved in that side of things for this band, but we're working on some new songs, so I'm gonna get more involved in that side of it. I'm also really into cyberpunk. That's like something I've gotten like really obsessed with lately. Um, I bought the RPG rulebook recently, so I've been running a campaign for some people. Um, I've always kind of enjoyed reading cyberpunk novels and stuff, but lately I've just been like more obsessed. I made some like playlists that were kind of cyberpunk inspired, some of which I've been playing during my like campaign that I'm DMing. Um, yeah, I don't know. I made up a whole like I like world building, writing that kind of stuff. So I made like a setting where it's essentially a island mega city built on top of the Pacific Island trash patch, um, which is basically like built to revive the world economy after like a corporate world war. So it's super deregulated and they can kind of do whatever the fuck they want. But the catch is that there's like a giant stockpile of nuclear weapons monitored by like an AI superintendent that'll blow the whole place to smithereens if any of them declare war on each other. So there's sort of like kind of like a shadow war between all these corporations, and then the players are stuck in the middle. So yeah, I don't know. I really love like DMing that kind of stuff. Um, I'm in a I'm forming a art collective right now, which is kind of a beautiful clusterfuck at the moment. It's just super all over the place. We're bringing in a lot of random people because I basically like um, kind of just went with like a shotgun approach with regards to promoting it. So what ended up happening is we got a bunch of furries, which obviously are easy to make fun of, but they seem like really nice people. So I love the furries. You know, they're great. Um, but like yeah, we're the whole plan for that, like the vision, I guess, is that we basically want it to be a place where we can promote everyone's art under one banner so it can reach a wider audience. We also want to have like we have like a Discord server so that kind of like foster communication and collaboration between people. Some like get some like kind of cross pollination type stuff going. So like I don't know, for instance, like I have a friend who's really good at drawing and like I'm really good at like writing, world building, that kind of stuff. So we might like collab and make a comic together. Like you can like collaborate across mediums. Like one of my friends is making art for my band's EP, and we might make like a soundtrack to something else. So like I don't know, cool shit like that. It's pretty like galaxy brained though because like um we're planning on it's like my idea, but like within the art collective there's gonna be like a secret society because I've been kind of like obsessed with like the idea of like academia secret societies lately. I don't really like know anything about them or like what they are, but it just kind of seems cool. Um so we're gonna try to have like code words and shit and that we can like weave around places. On the like university campus, and like the crow cause at midnight or like some shit like that. And then we were also searching for like a base of operations for our art collective slash like secret society cult. Um, so we're going to like all these like abandoned locations and went to a abandoned drive-in, which I think is going to end up being our base of operations because it was fucking awesome. Um, it was like I kind of expected it to be lame, honestly, because it's like a drive-in, so it's like okay, there'll be a field and maybe like a projector or something. But no, it was awesome. There were like a bunch of like buildings that had like sort of fallen into decay. So our plan for the end of the semester, what I'm thinking is we're gonna have like a art gallery slash showcase out there in the abandoned drive-in, and we're gonna kind of clean the place up a bit. I mean, it's like pretty grimy, so there's only so much we can do. But we're cleaning up a bit to make the different like abandoned buildings like different like stalls for the different artists where they can like show their works. Um, so that's been kind of my brainchild as of late. I'm also really into like 40K like Warhammer like model painting. I got like super into that a few years ago. I'm kind of slowing down right now just because like I painted like 8 billion models, but I'm still definitely into it and just like playing the game too. Um, yeah. Uh, are you an assertive person? Why or why not? Uh, I still don't really know how to answer that question. I feel like it depends, like some shit that like people who aren't assertive say. So I'll just say it depends and like leave it at that. Let you figure that out. Best quality and worst quality. My best quality is like I think I'm creative, but like I have the ability to like actually execute on my creative visions. I don't know. I mean, I'm talking about like the art collective and the band and all these like crazy ideas, but I actually do like do this stuff, like um, which is cool. I mean, that's something that like especially as I've gotten older, I've gotten better at like kind of bringing my ideas to life and like finding people to like work with me on that. So that's good. That kind of going along with the creativity thing. I think I'm good at like synthesizing ideas and concepts, kind of like distilling down to like the most important piece of information. I can be pretty good at like seeing the big picture because and that helps with like creativity, but also like just writing and like um, I don't know. It helps in a myriad of ways. Um, Worst quality. I feel like this is like I put more thought into this since like the last video I did. Um, like the unofficial one, but like I can definitely like I can waste a lot of time like either online or playing video games. And like it's kind of like I don't know like a binging and purging quality with productivity. I definitely spend a lot of time like focusing on being productive. But I'll go through periods where I'm like super productive and then I'll like burn myself out and be like super just like kind of like lazy or distracted. Um, I think it can also be kind of hypocritical sometimes, which is another thing that I'm like, not super thrilled to admit about myself. But I can definitely be like a little bit like self righteous or have these like moral views or whatever. But then just like less like actively betraying my values, but more just like through inaction, not like walking the talk. Which I don't know. I definitely want to be better at. Like I'm like an environmental studies major, but then like, and I was like kind of a minimalist for a while. Like I wasn't like buying a lot or consuming a lot. But then once I got into like Warhammer, I just sort of like couldn't stop buying stuff. Which I saved the laugh, so let me off the hook. But no, I do feel like pretty bad about that. And also be kind of like aloof sometimes. I don't know. I'm not like great at like setting like boundaries with people. When I was like in high school, I like was friends with this guy, but then I was like his only friend, and like he became kind of like shitty and like like threatened to like shoot up the school. And at that point, I cut him off, obviously, but like that kind of like fucked me up a little bit because then I was like really I don't know, I had kind of like a like inner barrier or something. Like I could make a lot of like I made a lot of like friendships and stuff, but I would kind of like hold people at a distance a little bit. So it's kind of just like more like having my I don't know like fingers in every pie. Is that an expression? I don't know, but that's like something I'm trying to like work on. Just being more like I don't know like committed. um, um, Ideal place in the world to live. I definitely need to live in a city. Like I can't live in the countryside. It's funny. I was actually in a I was in a class and it was like one of those like yeah kind of like another like sort of like environmental class and the professor like kind of singled me out. He's like, "How do you feel about this, Omar? Like working the land, moving to the countryside. Like could that be the life for you?" And I'm like no. Like I don't know. I feel like I have to be like at like the tippy top of like some like giant skyscraper in like an air conditioned room, like writing articles about like how like society's messed up. like that's kind of like my environment that I'd thrive in. I don't know. I gotta be like around a lot of people and like things that are like happening. In the last video I said I kind of want to leave the U.S., go somewhere like English speaking, like the UK or Canada, and I still sort of stand by that. But that also seems like difficult to get a citizenship. So right now, like in terms of like the city I most want to live in, I'm kind of leaning towards New Orleans, just because it's like it's so fucking like sick and like distinctive. Um, so yeah, as far as like U.S. cities, that's kind of what I'm looking at. Biggest pet peeves. Um, a lot of my this is like really pedantic and like ironically kind of illogical in and of itself, but a lot of my pet peeves mostly resolve around like the way that people think. Even if they agree with me, it's like I don't know. Like I'm really into like MBTI also. Like it's kind of like how I got into Enneagram. And I like that for me is easier to type myself under as a system because it's more about like the way your brain works and less about like your core unconscious motivations. Like that's like a lot harder. So I'm definitely like a INTP under that system. Um, yeah, so I don't know. I just get like I get annoyed by like shit that's not logical or like people who can't see the big picture or don't even give a shit about like trying to be like internally logically consistent. It's like that to me is like it's like foreign to like I don't know the way that like I try to like approach life. Um I don't know like I was like I touched on this in the last video, but I didn't do a super good job of explaining it. Like I was canvassing for this like mayoral candidate who was like her like platform is environmental issues come first, and like that was like I don't know, it was like really that's like kind of the way I look at things too because it's like any other issue is going to be exacerbated. um and like I was like talking to all these people and all like basically anyone wanted to talk about is how like a homeless person was mean to them once, so therefore we need like like sweeping policies that like criminalize homelessness. And I don't know, it's just like to me like that's so fucking like small brained because like it's like in the big like I don't know, I'm probably coming across kind of a douche right now. But like in the big picture, like the grand scheme of things, like shit like environmental issues is more important. So I just kind of wish that people would like focus on that more and like see that as like the priority as opposed to other things. Um but like it's I mean that's like a pretty extreme example, but honestly it's just sort of like constant like this like frustration with like people and like their way of thinking. It just like kind of bugs me. Um, I also like I don't know. I tend to take like rejection and exclusion pretty hard. It also like it annoys me when people reject others too or like exclude them on the basis of like seeming weird. Um, Especially if they're like super like I don't know like inclusive, but then they're not going to be inclusive towards like people they see as like weird. I don't know that shit just like really like rubs me the wrong way. Um, Greatest goals. One of my biggest life goals is I want to make like an album, um, which is like sort of coming along right now with my band. We made a EP recently. We like recorded it. It's like being produced right now. So I'm pretty excited about that. But I definitely want to like make an album and like have like a project that feels like deeply like my own, especially like lyrically, like just like where I'm like writing about like themes that I really like connect to and stuff. Like I don't know, I like to write about a lot of stuff about like um environmental issues, like my own um I don't know introspections, like wanting to be like a better person. I also like to like write about like I don't know, just kind of like wacky shit that's like I don't know. I kind of like to like get like what the fuck responses out of people. um, I also want to make like industrial music at some point. I had a sick idea, and I'm thinking about just implementing it in my band. Although it admittedly will be a little out of place because we're like doing like emo songs and shit sometimes. But I think it'd be awesome to get one of those respirator masks, like those gas masks that are like just cover half your face, and put a contact mic in it so that I can like sing through my mask, like a Bane mask almost. and play guitar at the same time. And like, I mean, there's obviously like the practical side, but mostly it would just be a cool like aesthetic, like kind of like, yeah, kind of like cyberpunk, like industrially um, type thing. Yeah, but I definitely, I think I'm gonna order one recently and just do that with my current project, even if it like doesn't completely fit the music. I just think it'd be fun. Um, I also like this is like a much more vague goal. I mean, the other one was like a little vague too, but but I want to like contribute to the climate movement in some way. Like I don't know, but I want to figure out how my specific like skill set, like what I'm good at, can like factor into that. I kind of want to go into like environmental journalism. I'm pretty good at writing, so I think that's something where I could like I don't know do pretty well in. Um, Most stressful time of your life, definitely 2 years ago. Although like a few months ago was also pretty shitty, but I think 2 years ago kind of like sowed the seeds or whatever for that. It was like COVID, and then like I was in a band that I like kind of like um, I don't know, was really like emotionally invested in because I was writing a lot about like shit that like really mattered to me. And that fell apart. Also, a bunch of friendships fell apart. There's a lot of drama with people. Obviously, I wasn't to blame in any of it. I was completely blameless. Did nothing wrong whatsoever. But but no, I mean, yeah, there was some shit. Some of it like I wasn't even involved in. It was just like another friend group just like completely schismed. Um, but then there were ones where I was involved in that. I don't know. It was just really rough because like I lost a lot of friends over COVID. There were a lot of like relationship issues. I was in like my first like long term relationship, which was like kind of a disaster. um, and like I don't know, there are a lot of issues with like people in my house too, and then like judging my relationship and shit, and like judging me. Um, and being like really shitty towards both of us when we were both just kind of trying to like figure things out. We didn't need this all this like external like meddling from people. Um, I don't know. I just kind of just like the house dynamic. Like it kind of just ended up being like blamed for a lot of shit. I think it was most um annoying for me about the whole situation was how like people kind of like treated me like I was like some like oblivious like nerd boy who like didn't understand like anything like and like to be fair like it kind of worked to my advantage because they'd like say shit with like certain subtext or like outside in certain rooms that like they didn't think I was like I don't know smart enough to read into, and I'm like what the fuck, like I understand everything you're saying. um so it was just like, but like again it was like it was kind of hurtful that like people that like I mean well used to be my friends like had that like low of an opinion of me almost. It's like really like you don't think I'm like I get what's going on. I don't know. It was just like it was really frustrating and I don't know. It's just like it was a shitty environment to like be my house. Um I don't know. I was also like I got really like over focused on like productivity, especially with regards to like political engagement and shit. And like I don't know, I was in this like anarchist group, which I'm like I feel like maybe I shouldn't admit that over YouTube, but like I also kind of like I don't think it matters because we were the world's lamest anarchist group. like I almost wish that I couldn't admit that over YouTube, but really like there's no dirt on us because we didn't fucking do anything. Um, but I would just like I don't know, people in that group were kind of like ignoring my input, and I was like, and then being like a dick to my friend, like one of my closest friends. So I was kind of after a while, I was like fuck this shit, and then I like left. But I don't know, I sunk like a lot of hours into like that and like various other things that like I don't know, I kind of like spiraled out into like being really like rigid about like all these things that I was like that I like believed in. But then but it like kind of didn't get anywhere. Um, I felt like I was like really focused on like productivity. Um, but I wasn't really like introspecting or anything. I was just kind of like in perpetual motion, but not really actually doing anything, which sucked. Um, yeah, I don't know. It just kind of like all that shit just sort of compounded into like giving me like a loss of sense of direction. I kind of like feeling like at the end of college, like I got like the bad ending. Like I'm a grad student now. Now it's sort of more like the weird epilogue. But yeah, um, like shit's going a little bit better. So that's good. Around best time. Definitely around like 2019 to 2020. That's when I like put a lot of effort into like self improvement in a lot of different ways. I also like I figured out like what I wanted, and I got like really in touch with that. So I just had this like laser focus on like my goals, which was super nice. And like really like I don't know, kind of like empowering feeling. And then I like got all of it. Like I like figured out what I wanted and just um yeah, just like did it all basically. I don't know. I was really salty about being excluded both from like the like improv scene like in my college and then like also like the music scene. So I just like I founded like my own improv club that was like all inclusive because you had these ones that were like super like audition based and like excluded like 90% of people who audition. So I was kind of like fuck you, I'm gonna like start my own. So I did, and then like it became like super successful, like even like over COVID. And that's like one thing that I don't know, like I've created recently that like actually like endured, and like I don't know, I'm pretty proud of that. Not gonna lie. Um, yeah, I also like that I formed my band. I felt a lot clearer on like my political views, which is cool. I was like involved in canvassing, and like I had a bunch of coworkers during like the summer of like 2019 who I like really liked. Like I don't know, it was just like it felt like I don't know, I just like found people that like I really liked and was like really comfortable with. Um, yeah, I don't know. I was like making friends, like my relationship was starting. I just became a lot more like confident in general. So yeah, that was like really the best time of my life. Um, so yeah, thanks for watching. I think I'm gonna end it here, but I'd love to know what you think my type is. I'm excited to know. Thanks. Yeah.